Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button down below. And if you're an old subscriber, thank you for always coming back to watch my video. It really means a lot to me. So today I'll be showing you how I made this grilled catfish. In my blender, I went in with my onion, my peppers. I also added garlic and a little bit of ginger to this. You can add as much pepper as you want. Depends on how hot you want your seasoning, your sauce to be. Depends on how hot. Depends on how much heat you can handle. I love the heat, so my pepper was much. So I just roughly blended this in a blender. You can use a manual blender to just roughly whisk this. Depends on how smooth or how rough you want it to be. Just blend this and then you keep this aside. And then I came in with my foil paper. I'll be grilling this catfish with a foil paper. So this was a freshwater catfish. It was fresh, it was not a frozen one. I bought it fresh. I love my catfish fresh. Do they even freeze catfish? I don't know, I've never seen frozen catfish before. So just wipe this down to just reduce the moisture with the paper towel. Just clean that so your ingredients will just hold firmly to the fish. Just clean that. And then you can also cut this fish in the middle. Just divide it in the middle. Or me, I just cut it from the neck and remove all the dirt from that. And then you just want to give it some cuttings on the body because you want to really make sure your ingredients and your seasoning really go into the fish so it's properly marinated. So I went in with my dry seasoning. Here I added my seasoning cube, I added my curry, I added thyme, I added black pepper, I added different seasonings to this. You can just make your mixture and just make sure you add any seasoning that you want. You can add garlic, dried garlic, and you just make sure you just massage this so it goes in really well into the catfish. But you really want to make sure your catfish is properly marinated and seasoned properly. As you can see how I'm doing with the video. And then I went in with this ginger shot. This is something I usually drink, but you can also use that to marinate your fish, meat, whatever you want to marinate. It's a very nice, it's a very nice stuff to use for marinating. It consists of ginger, garlic, there's honey in that also. So just make sure you rub this in properly and make sure you just massage the catfish and make sure all the seasonings go into the fish properly because you want that to be very tasty. Then I rub my pepper mix to this also. You really want to just make sure you properly do that and make sure all the ingredients, everything just goes into the catfish. I'll be eating this with Irish potato. You also can use plantain to this. And then I cut in some onions. Depends on how much onions you want in that. And then I just wrap this because we're just going to let this sit for like 30 minutes before grilling. You can also do this and keep it for maybe like 3 hours, or it's preferable you can just keep this in your fridge for like throughout the night till the next day. The ingredient will be more, it will get more marinated. And then I wrapped it up. I added another foil paper to that because you really want to wrap this and make sure everything is properly closed. As you can see how I'm doing in the video, I just kept this aside. I'll be grilling this in my baking pan because I do not have a grilling rack, so I'll be doing this in my baking pan. And then while it's in the oven, I'll go in and fry my pepper mix, my remaining pepper mix. You go in with your oil, not too much oil. Then I went in with my onions. You just want to saute that and just let it fry a bit. Depends on how much onions you also want to use for that. Some people do not like too much onions, but I love onions, so I added so much of that. And then just let this fry a bit. Just stir and not too brown, just stir a little bit. And then I pepper. Just go in and fry that. Just make sure everything is fried properly. Since there's tomato in this, you want to really fry that, so the tardiness of the tomato will just will not be too obvious. Just fry that. I went in with my seasoning cubes, and then I kept frying that. I just let that sit and just let it cook and leave it. Also added more seasoning to that. As you can see, just keep stirring. I want to stir that so that it doesn't get burnt. Then I added my ginger powder to that also, and then I went in with my remaining ginger shot. The ginger shot is optional because I'm sure it's not everybody that have that. Just make sure you just add seasoning enough. Just make sure you taste that and make sure your seasonings are okay. And then I added a little bit of salt to that for taste. Just make sure you keep frying because you don't want that to get burnt. Just keep stirring. You will know your pepper mix is ready when the oil just start coming to the top of the pot. So just keep frying that. As you can see, the oil is already coming to the top. And then I had to reduce that and keep aside because I'll be using some of this pepper mix to cook the fish. Then I just brought out the fish because I needed to add my pepper mix to that. You really want to make sure your seasoning really go in properly. So we're going to go in with our pepper mix into this. As you can see, just make sure everything is properly rubbed into the fish. If you like content like this, let me know in the comment section. If you have questions, drop your questions. I'm going to try my best to answer them. Like my video, share my video, support this small YouTuber. And then I'll just cover this and take it back into my oven. You can just keep this open if you want your fish to be very dried, but I wanted it to be juicy. I didn't want it to be dry, but if you want it to really grill very well, you can just leave it open and let it keep grilling. But this was my fish after I finished grilling. It looked very good and it tasted very nice also. I tasted that it was so good. The potatoes were so soft and very delicious. Came out perfect. This is something you should try. You can do this for your family. If you have visitors coming around, you can also make this for them. It's easy, it doesn't take too long, and it's very delicious. If you make this for your friends, your family, I'm sure they'd love it. And this was it after everything. And this was the seasoning I used from that. The pepper mix, you can eat it with that, or you can just keep it because the fish is already having enough pepper mix in it. But I really wanted much of the pepper mix, so I ate the pepper mix. Can also squeeze some lemon in that or lime. just give it a little bit of black, just something to give a little twist. You can just squeeze in your lemon into that and you enjoy it more. And then I added some cabbage to that. You can also add carrot and some lettuce to that and just eat it. It just gives it a different taste. I hope you like this video. I'm hoping I see you in my next video. Bye.